If you've been watching the cottage market in Ontario, you've probably noticed a shift this year. More listings, longer time on market, and more negotiation. According to recent data in Remax Canada reports, this isn't just a slowdown, it's a fundamental shift in how this segment of the market functions. And it's not just second home buyers that are driving it anymore. One of the biggest takeaways from Remax Canada's residential property report is the approach buyers are taking entering into the market. About 45% of Canadians surveyed now see recreational properties as a way to get started in real estate. In Ontario, that's becoming even more relevant as affordability in urban markets remains a challenge. Instead of jumping right to their primary residence, buyers are starting with cottages, targeting more affordable areas, and using these properties as a stepping stone or income source. The Ontario Cottage Market Correction Report makes things clear. The segment has shifted. Inventory is up, days on market are longer, and buyers have more leverage. Pricing has adjusted and continues to adjust in many areas, which is something we've seen firsthand in markets like Prince Edward County. It's not a crash, but it's a continued correction after years of aggressive growth. Today's buyers are more disciplined. They're more cautious and more analytical, whether they're buying that recreational property as a second home or as a primary residence. They're focused on carrying cost, long-term usability, and income potential. The urgency we saw from a few years ago is gone. The idea of a seasonal only cottage is also starting to fade. Buyers want flexibility. Remax's recreational property report states that 61% of buyers want something renovated or move-in ready, and 59% of buyers want something with year-round usability. Anecdotally, we're also seeing property owners get kind of fatigued with managing a seasonal cottage and their full-time primary residence, so they're consolidating those two into one waterfront primary year-round residence. That impacts supply and demand in some segments. Supply is increasing, and both of the Remax reports point to a few key drivers. One of them is generational shift. The kids just don't want the property anymore. They don't want to maintain it. The other is rising carrying and maintenance costs. The properties are just becoming too expensive to carry and maintain. And the third is just reduced use or change of lifestyle. This combination is pushing more listings to the market faster than the demand can absorb them. For buyers, there's absolutely opportunity in the market. There's more inventory, more negotiating power, and more time to make decisions. But for sellers, the market is more competitive. Quality properties in highly desirable locations will tend to be resilient, and no matter what market conditions will continue to trade, but the others are getting left behind. In conclusion, cottage properties are no longer just lifestyle purchases. Some Canadians are using them as an investment vehicle or a stepping stone to get into the real estate market. But even with that increase in demand, supply is still outweighing the demand for these properties, putting pressure on the market. If you're interested in either of these reports, we'll link them both in the description. And as always, thanks for watching and see you in the next one.